Thinking of moving to Ascension Parish? Today we're going to show you a Google map tour of Geismar, Louisiana, also known as Dutchtown, in Ascension Parish. My business partner Maria Thorne and I get calls, texts, and emails daily from people just like you, and we love it. We love the opportunity to help you in navigating through a move from within the state or from out of state to Ascension Parish, the community that we live and work in regularly. If this is your first time to the channel, please subscribe and tap the bell to be notified when we have new videos and information that may be helpful to you in your move. By the way, my name is Amy Norton with Team Live Love Louisiana. And in this video, we're going to show you a map of South Louisiana and where Ascension Parish falls within the part of the state that we live in. And we're also going to tell you some of the reasons why people move to the greater Baton Rouge area, and more predominantly, why they move to Ascension Parish. So in Ascension Parish, some of the main bonus features are top A-grade public schools, everything that you need within your reach, and close, tight-knit communities. So if a move to the greater Baton Rouge suburbs is for you, this video is going to be perfect for you to watch. Our first map tour will be of Geismar, and videos to follow, we will dive into the other towns that are adjacent to Geismar, like Prairieville, Santa Mont, Sorrento, Gonzales, and those are the towns that are on the east side of the Mississippi River in Ascension Parish. So people are moving to the greater Baton Rouge area, which is our capital city. However, for reasons mentioned a few moments ago, a lot of people are moving to the outskirts, the suburbs, Ascension Parish being one of the favorites. Ascension Parish is located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, of course much closer to Baton Rouge. So Baton Rouge is going to be about 10 miles away from Geismar, and New Orleans is going to be more 55 miles away or so from Geismar. So let Maria and I help you through our YouTube videos to sort through the different communities and towns that we are familiar with, so that you can determine where you would really like to plant your roots. So the goal of our channel is to minimize you being overwhelmed and to help you sort through and prioritize what is important to you and what areas might be a good fit for you, what areas might not be a perfect fit for you. So we will do Google Map tours of all the different parts of our parish. And by the way, if you're not from Louisiana, please know that our counties are called parishes here in Louisiana. So first, we're going to look at the map of South Louisiana so that we can kind of help you to get your bearings on where we are. Next, we'll hone into Ascension Parish, and then finally, we'll look at Geismar, also known as Dutchtown map. We'll look at a map and I'll show you so that we can start to kind of get those bearings. Okay, so this is the primary area that we're going to talk about just real quick before we dive into our specific area. But Interstate 10 splits the state in half, basically. So Lafayette, Baton Rouge, which is Louisiana's capital city. Then you would get to Ascension Parish along the way to New Orleans. So the Baton Rouge Regional Airport is about 21 miles from Geismar. New Orleans International Airport is about 48 miles from Geismar. And for those of you that may know someone or have a private aircraft, there is a small regional airport in Gonzales. And there's also a smaller scale airport in Lafayette. Lafayette Airport and Baton Rouge Airport are kind of on par with one another, but New Orleans is where you're going to go if you want the most options, and will fly internationally. But it's super convenient to be able to just drive 21 miles and be at the Baton Rouge Airport. So downtown New Orleans, you're looking at about a 60-mile drive. So from Geismar to New Orleans, you're looking at about 55 minutes to maybe an hour and a half when there's bad traffic. In the Baton Rouge Airport, again, probably about 20 miles from Geismar, and you can get there pretty easily in about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes if there's, a hectic kind of traffic time, which a lot of times there is. So let us dive into next, Ascension Parish. Okay, so a major defining component throughout our state is this very snake-like mighty Mississippi River that passes in Baton Rouge all the way through Ascension Parish, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, basically. So that divides our parish into the west side and the east side. So East Ascension, West Ascension. So mostly what is in West Ascension is the town of Donaldsonville, which has its own high school, also has private school options. And on the east side, there are multiple high schools in the parish and also some private school options. But today, when we're talking schools, we're going to hone into what is available in Dutchtown. So just real quick, some other areas that we'll talk about in map tours and neighborhood tours down the road. First, again, today is going to be Geismar Dutchtown, which has about 9,800 residents and growing. Gonzales, Prairieville, Sorrento, and Sanamont. So those are some areas that you can keep in mind. We will be highlighting, showing you map tours and neighborhood tours as well. Okay, so let's look at Geismar in particular, which you can see is basically right along the Mississippi River and is also defined by Interstate 10. So you've got Dutchtown High School, which is right off of the interstate accessible on Highway 73. Across from the high school or Dutchtown Middle and Dutchtown Primary. So you've got high schools there. So you'd be looking at the middle school and the primary school are neighbors and across the street from the high school. And there's also another primary school along Bluff Road near Highway 74, which would probably end up being in about this neighborhood or so. So in Geismar, you've got high school, which currently Dutchtown High School is the largest public high school in the state. Now they are building another high school in our parish, which will relieve some of those super high enrollment numbers. You also have Dutchtown Middle School and Dutchtown Primary School and Spanish Lake Primary School that are in Geismar, Dutchtown. Transportation, getting to and from Geismar and to surrounding parts that you might be interested in traveling. So Highway 73 is a major road that goes through Dutchtown all the way basically to the river. You've got Interstate 10. So this is basically going towards New Orleans. And this is going west towards Baton Rouge. And if you continue further, Lafayette. Highway 74 crosses the parish and will connect you to Highway 30 at St. Gabriel, which is Iberville Parish. So Highway 30 this way will take you straight to LSU. So you can get to Baton Rouge from 74 and Highway 30. You can also get to Baton Rouge really easily along I-10. So if I failed to mention earlier, let me reiterate that Geismar is also known as the Community of Dutchtown. So Geismar is our official address, but often people refer to it as Dutchtown. And Dutchtown, Geismar is a suburban rural mix with residents, probably about 9,800 residents in Geismar and growing. So along the river in this area, there are a lot of chemical plants, and that is the source of a lot of jobs for our community. Also here, Lamar Dixon Expo Center. There are often shows and activities that would be interesting for folks to visit, like home shows, gun and knife shows. They have holiday markets, lots of fun items that people in the area will craft or cook and sell at this expo center. Adjacent to the expo center is the soccer complex in Gonzales. That's really nice. So if there are kids that are looking to play competitive and entry-level soccer, this is a really good local place to start. It's neighboring Geismar and Gonzales, but that's definitely some highlights for you. Also in this area, there is Tanger Outlet Mall. There's Cabela's. There are lots of dining options and hotel options in our neighboring city of Gonzales, right next door. Okay, so Geismar is just about 10 minutes away from the outskirts of Baton Rouge. So when you hop on I-10 in Geismar right here at Highway 73, 10 minutes this way and you're kind of at the edge of Baton Rouge. And then of course, probably another 10 or 15 miles in this direction, west, and you'll be in downtown Baton Rouge. So just one more highlight of some reasons why people love Dutchtown or those grade A schools. So the high school, which is the largest in the state, the middle school, and the two primary schools, with private school options located in our parish throughout Ascension. So there are some options in Prairieville, there are some options in Geismar, there are some options in Santamont, which are all relatively nearby to Geismar, Dutchtown. The median home price in Geismar is about $279,000. And housing options range from single-family, small-scale homes, some mobile homes, single-wide or double-wide, either in mobile home parks or on a decent-sized piece of land, all the way up to single-family, small-size, medium, large, to more estate-scale homes in Geismar. There are some gated communities, there are standard subdivisions, there are homes available in rural parts, just kind of along the highway, not in an organized neighborhood. There's a lot of new construction going on around Ascension, and there's also some resale options for sure. So Maria and I are here to guide you along the path to home ownership. We'll sit down and talk to you about what's important, what you're looking for, and with the use of our videos and maybe a Zoom call or an in-person buyer consultation, we can find you and evaluate with you all of the different components that may be important to you in determining where you want to plant those roots. And then, by the way, if I didn't mention it before, this is worth mentioning. In Louisiana, our counties are called parishes. So you'll definitely hear parish used a lot in our videos. Geismar has all of the basics. They've got urgent care, dental care, place to get your hair cuts, colored, nails done, of course, groceries, specialty meats, fast food restaurants, some finer dining in Geismar, donut shops, churches, places to get gas, places to get your automobile serviced, hotels, gyms, healthcare, car washes, boutiques. Basically, Geismar has all of the basics that you're going to need. And what we don't have in Geismar is within reach, not too far away. So some of the high points again on why people are moving to Ascension Parish. A big draw is those A-rated schools. So next I want to look at what colleges and universities are in our general area of Louisiana. Okay, so just looking at South Louisiana. So of course in Baton Rouge you have Southern University, you've got LSU, you've got Baton Rouge Community College, which is in Baton Rouge. So you've got Southern University, you've got LSU. Okay, so looking west from Baton Rouge, you've got University of Louisiana Lafayette, which is called ULL. There's LSU Eunice, which is a small satellite campus of LSU. Along Interstate 12 is Southeastern University. In New Orleans, there are several options. So in New Orleans, just to name a few, you've got LSU in New Orleans, which is a division of the health sciences. There's LSU Med School, LSU Dentistry School, and physical therapy, and a few other LSU schools in New Orleans. There is another campus of Southern University. There is Loyola University, Tulane University, Xavier also. But there are several higher education options just in our South Louisiana. There's also Nicholls State University, which is in Thibodaux, Louisiana. So you've got some smaller scale campuses and some larger scale campuses all within, 60 miles or so of Geismar. And there are other universities in our state. For instance, some of the more popular universities that are not exactly categorized to be in South Louisiana, you've got Louisiana Tech, which is in Ruston, about 185 miles away. You've got Northwestern, which is in Natchitoches, about 160 miles away from Geismar. In Shreveport, you've got Centenary. I mentioned earlier in New Orleans, you've got Tulane, Loyola, Xavier, University of New Orleans. So those are all about 60 miles away or so. Grambling is 185 miles away. Nicholls, I mentioned, is definitely part of our South Louisiana area in Thibodaux. So some fun things that there are to do around Geismar. You've got in Gonzales, let's go back, bear with me. Okay, so in Gonzales, you've got Ascension Community Theater, where it's small scale theatrical performances, as well as a new Pace Center, where there have hardly been any events there so far. But a big part of it is going to be performances and performing arts. So you've got small scale theater, something larger scale at the Pace Center. You've got shopping, Tanger Outlet Mall in Gonzales. You've got Cabela's in Gonzales. Next to those shopping areas are lots and lots of fast food, dining, and hotel options. And again, Geismar is right next door to Gonzales. So a lot of times Gonzales is just a 5, 10, 15-minute trip away to access some of the features that Geismar may not have, like a theater and so on and so forth. It's really easy to transport yourself from Gonzales to Geismar as their neighboring towns. Some other fun things to do in the parish, kind of in this area. The Cajun Village is a great place. It's a really cultural little spot to hit called the Cajun Village Coffee House. So you can get some coffee and beignets or breakfast and look at some of the little local shops that they have in this area. Also, kind of in this general area as well, you got the Homus House. Homus House is plantation home. There's also beautiful, beautiful grounds to visit and dine. There are also lots of special events, weddings, and so on and so forth. This is in Darrow, Louisiana, which is part of our parish in Ascension. Here's an example of what the actual Homus House antebellum home looks like. But the grounds and the gardens are really exquisite. And this is right along the Mississippi River. Homus House is a beautiful attraction to visit when you are in Ascension Parish. Whether you live here or whether you have family and friends visiting from out of town or out of state, especially on a nice day to walk the grounds and walk through the home and get a feel for what things were like in those historic days. definitely something you want to do. So besides going to the coffee house or to the antebellum home or the performing arts, there's movies in Gonzales, which is neighboring Geismar. There's bowling, just about anything you want to do for fun. There's Lamar, Dixon, and the adjacent soccer fields. There are softball, baseball parks throughout the parish, in Prairieville, Gonzales, and maybe some on the edge of Geismar, smaller scale for, youth and probably some younger adults playing baseball, softball, so on and so forth. So also in Gonzales, you've got axe throwing, you've got trampoline park, you have nearby, let's take a look at the Baton Rouge Zoo is over in the area of the airport of Baton Rouge. So this is probably, 20, 25 miles from Geismar, and it is absolutely an option for something fun to do. Another really cultural thing to do are swamp tours. So here in Louisiana, we don't have mountains, we have swamp. And a lot of times for us who live here, or especially I remember growing up thinking, oh, swamp, how weird. But there really are some beautiful parts of Louisiana, beautiful wildlife, natural cypress trees, oak trees that are hundreds of years old. Visiting a swamp tour is definitely fun and a cultural event that you may want to partake in, especially if you're new to the area or if you want to take family or friends to see something cultural in our South Louisiana area. And there are several different swamp tours. This one is around Thibodaux. There are some around New Orleans also, and kind of down towards the Lafitte area, which this would probably be a good 45-minute drive to you to this tour in Thibodaux. I know this is definitely a good one. And besides that, in these areas, Thibodaux, Lake des Allemands, there's a lot of fresh seafood in this area. So when you take your swamp tour, you're going to want to stop and visit some of these local restaurants. Lots of boiled seafood, lots of fried seafood, very, very good options. And this is on the verge of Kramer and Thibodaux. All right, so this Zam's Swamp Tour is just a little bit off of the Mississippi River, but you can kind of see following along the river. Airline Highway is Highway 61 that for the most part goes parallel-ish to Interstate 10. So this is Ascension Parish here, and then Interstate 10, this is Dutchtown. So from Geismar, Dutchtown to the Zam's Swamp Tour area, probably 40 miles or so. And I mentioned antebellum homes earlier. In this area along the river, it spans pretty wide, and there are definitely some in other parts, but along the river there are going to be a lot of antebellum homes that are restored and available for tours. There are also some in Lafourche Parish, which is not too far away either. If you're taking a scenic weekend drive, Vacherie, Gramercy, Garyville, the Luling, St. Rose area, there are some historic antebellum homes that would be fun to visit. So this is our Geismar map tour that shares with you a little bit of the surrounding areas in our South Louisiana Ascension Parish area. Okay, so moving right along, I wanted to show you some of what is currently available for sale currently in Geismar. So I will screen share and we'll look at our multiple listing service, active listings, and I will show you the 37 options or a handful of those. And then we'll look at the map and I'll show you in relation to one another where they all are. Even though Geismar is not that large, it'll be easy to show you on a map tour where a handful of these listings are. So again, this is just a current snapshot of what's available in Geismar. So we said the average or the median sales price is in the upper 200,000s. So right now, the least expensive property for sale in Geismar is 260. So that's a 1,600 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for 260,000. Next up, this 3-bedroom, 2-bath house is kind of in the 330 price range. Larger scale house, closer to 1,900 square feet, you're looking at around 350,000 for the asking price. A little more of the same. And then now we come to the first new construction home, which there are a big handful of new construction homes in primarily 2 different subdivisions, Belle Savanne and Clare Court. So this one's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, around 1,750 square feet, and they're asking 369,000 and some change. Clare Court, here's the other subdivision. This one might be the very same floor plan, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,757 square feet, and they're asking 379. So this is Clare Court, and in a minute I'll show you on the map where Belle Savanne and Clare Court are, and some of the other really popular subdivisions in Geismar where there are current houses for sale right now. Okay, this is a house that's built in 16, so it's a little older than that. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. These homes were built mostly by custom builders. So this one is almost 2,000 square feet, and they're asking 385 for it. We'll take a look at some pictures real quick so you can see what the interior looks like. They'll all have a fireplace. Looks like the dining area. The kitchens are all going to have custom cabinetry and either granite or quartz on the counters. Some of these homes in Dutchtown Meadows subdivision will have kind of some extra architectural features, like this one looks like it has a brick wall. Some of them will have some antique columns or architectural features, wooden features. Okay, so this one is also on Clare Court, and I'll show you a few progress pictures. It's on an average size neighborhood lot, but there are no houses next to this one just yet. This is what the finished product is going to look like. Okay, so there are a few that are coming up that are in an older subdivision. Most of these were built in 2006, 2007 or so. The Parks of Dutchtown, which is off of Corner View. And these homes are mostly larger scale. So this one's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, about 3,000 square feet, and they're asking almost 400,000 for it. This one is a new home, but it has been occupied for a year or 3. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,250 square feet. They're asking for 10 for it. Another one in the subdivision, Parks of Dutchtown, priced in the same ballpark, over 3,000 square feet, and they're asking 417,000 for it. Same subdivision. Okay, this is another great subdivision, Oak Alley Estates, located off of Highway 74 and Bluff Road. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, built in 2007, almost 2,700 square feet. They're asking for 20 for it. A lot of custom details. This one looks like it has a dining room. It looks like it has a breakfast area and what they call a keeping area, which is like a little casual seating area next to the kitchen. Another new home in Belle Savanne. This is off of Highway 73, very near I-10. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, built this year, completed this year, 2024. 2,400 square feet, and they're asking 354,000 and some change. Clare Court, this one looks complete. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's a large 3-bedroom. It's a little above 2,300 square feet, and they're asking 461,000 for it. Really pretty clean look. Continuous flooring looks like throughout the kitchen and the living area. Fireplace looks like granite in the kitchen and bathrooms. Almost fully brick home with some stucco accents on the front. And Clare Court is again off of Corner View. This one's in Belle Savanne. So Clare Court and Belle Savanne, you will see some strong similarities because it's the same builder. In Oak Alley Estates also. Let's see how this one looks in comparison to the other one. If I had to guess, I would say this house was probably built in about 2006, 2007, 2008. You have a large kitchen, large pantry, dining area, fireplace, large living area, and more than likely 4 bedrooms. This one, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 11 to 15 years ago, but my guess would be around 2008 or so. Almost 2,600 square feet of living area, and they're asking $485. We're going to zoom over some of these in Clare Court. Just know that there are going to be plenty of options in the 3, 4, and 5 bedroom size range in Clare Court and Belle Savanne for sure. I think Clare Court has some 5 bedrooms, but Belle Savanne definitely does too. Oakbourne Estates. Let's look at this one here. So Oakbourne is a small gated subdivision located off of Highway 74, built by custom builders. Nice, quiet street. Nice neighborhood. 4 bedroom, 3 bath, about 2,200 square feet. They're asking $535. Pretty custom kitchen, nice cabinetries, top-notch lighting. You have a wooden architectural detail here, a beam. Nice custom bathroom. This one looks like it had a little office. Probably not a full office room, just a nice big desk area. This one happens to have an outdoor kitchen. Not every component. It looks like there's a refrigerator and a grill and a sink. Oakbourne, very nice subdivision. And there are a few available in Oakbourne currently. Okay, so there's another one in Oakbourne, about 2,300 square feet, asking about $535. Little under 2,200 square feet, asking $535,000. Legacy Hills. So this is a larger home, almost 3,300 square feet, and they're asking $575. Let's see just some details on this one. Also usually built by custom builders in this subdivision. A little office space here in this one too. A nice sized laundry room. And this one's on a little pond. It's at the front entrance. This is at the front entrance of the subdivision. And this is not built yet. It's called proposed construction. So you can choose a lot. There are still a few lots available in Bluff Set. And you can build one of the plans that the builder has slated for these lots. And you may even be able to alter the plan some or choose a different plan and work with the builder. So this is a proposed construction, 2,550 square feet almost, and they're asking $642,500. This is located on 74 at Bluff Road. And like I said, there are a few lots available. And there's a home being built there right now, actually. Another larger home available in Oak Alley Estates. This is another one of those proposed constructions in Bluff Set. Very nice. This one's almost 2,700 square feet, asking $670,000. And again, it's not started yet. So if you would like to build this house, more than likely you can make selections so that it can be pretty much customized to you. We can help you with new construction that's completed, and we can also help you with resales. So if we see an existing home that you love, of course, we can help with all of that. And then this is just one more. There are several of those lots that are available. This is our last kind of grand finale property. This is in Stony Point Estates, which is a decent sized subdivision. The lots in Stony Point are anywhere from ½ acre on up to 1.5 acres. I think this house is complete. It's ready to be lived in. It's over 3,200 square feet, and the asking price is $959,900. A beautiful custom-built home, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and lots of bonuses. Let's take a quick look through this one. So you've got some really stunning ceiling beam details. A lot of extra cabinetry. This is a little butler's pantry. Really fine lighting and exquisite architectural brick and cypress details. Beautiful dirty top pine floors. and a ceiling to match. Nice laundry room. Built-ins in some of the bedrooms. This is kind of a drop zone when you walk in from the garage, I would presume. Beautiful, vast back patio with some outdoor kitchen. Even the back patio had some really a beautiful ceiling work, wood ceiling components. Very nice house. Gated community in Geismar. This is Stony Point Estates. So let's look at the Google map and Geismar, and I'll just kind of hit some of those popular areas. Okay, so since Stony Point is fresh on our mind, let me show you where that is. Okay, so Stony Point is going to be a little bit after Cornerview on Highway 73. So Stony Point is going to be somewhere right around here. Stony Point Estates. I'm not drawing anything to scale. I'm just kind of pinpointing where it is. I needed to make a little bit of a correction and show you where Spanish Lake Primary is. So backing up and shifting gears real quick to look at the schools, you've got Dutchtown High is in this arena. You got Dutchtown Middle and Dutchtown Primary over here. And then off of Bluff Road is Spanish Lake. So Bluff Road is going to be Dutchtown High School, Dutchtown Middle School, and Primary School are here. And then Spanish Lake Primary School is definitely still in Geismar, maybe on the verge of Geismar, but it's right here off of Bluff Road. So I really goofed up a little bit in my drawing, my map drawing, where I showed you where Spanish Lake was the other day. Sorry about that, but this is its true location. And from here to here is probably no more than 2 miles, maybe 2 to 3 miles max. So that's all of our public schools in Geismar. So let's go back to looking at some of the other locations of some of the subdivisions that I pointed out just minutes ago in Dutchtown. So Stony Point Estates here. You've got Clare Fort, probably somewhere in this arena, as well as the parks of Dutchtown. And then Dutchtown Meadows is somewhere in this arena too, off of Cornerview, which is 429. 74 and 73. This is where Dutchtown Primary and Dutchtown Middle are. So you have Old Mill subdivision, which is around here. And Rivergate subdivision. It's a lot of starter homes. Most of them are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in the 250, 260 price point is somewhere in this arena here off of Highway 74. So another popular subdivision where there's a lot of new construction is Belle Savanne. So that is located around here. If we are on 73 and we turn on 74, Oak Alley Estates is right over here. Let me make sure that I'm touching on most of the houses that are currently available right now. So currently there's 37 homes for sale in Geismar, and a lot of those are new construction. So Bluff Set, where there is the proposed construction, located here. And I think that basically covers it, just so that I have reiterated Stony Point Estates is here. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what's available where in our small town of Geismar. Look forward to guiding you and also doing some other town tours via Google Maps. That will help you. Thanks for tuning in. We sure do appreciate it, and we look forward to helping you to find a perfect place and first to learn more about where you might want to be and where you don't want to be. So it's Amy Norton with Team Live Love Louisiana. Thank you so much for tuning in.